The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
Hello and welcome to another edition of TVWAN News. I'm Rex Litter. In this edition, 40 arrested in joint raid in Hela. PNG UOT attains international recognition, and Tenja helping out with the hunters. Eight suspects are in police custody, including the individual who allegedly pulled the trigger in the sorcery-related torture and murder of a woman in Magarima, Hela Province. Hela Provincial Police Commander Superintendent Michael Welly said the suspects surrendered on Sunday, July 6, 2025, with the assistance of local leaders, the Magarima District CEO and police personnel. The suspects have been transported to Tari Police Station. PPC Welly said the offenders will be subjected to charges including murder, torture and unlawful confinement with potential penalties of life imprisonment. On Tuesday, July 1st, a male teacher teaching at Kape Under Primary School died. The women and two others were accused of killing him through sorcery. On Wednesday, July 2nd, the woman was taken to the local Ungu Bridge and shot dead. Police investigation continues with more arrests expected. The government will be amending the sorcery accusation-related violence laws to introduce heavier penalties for sorcery-related killings and torture. Prime Minister James Marape announced this recently following the brutal torture and murder of a woman in Hela Province, an act reportedly fueled by false accusations of sorcery.
Prime Minister James Marape has announced that tougher legal reforms aimed at eliminating SARV from Papua New Guinea will be deliberated in July and September session of Parliament and continuing into 2026. The Prime Minister said the government will amend existing laws to introduce heavier penalties for sorcery-related killings and torture. He further stated that these changes will expand the scope of liability. Marape explained that not only will the perpetrators face justice, but also bystanders who watch and say nothing, and those who record and share these horrific acts on social media. Marape confirmed that under the proposed amendments, bystanders and community members who fail to report SARV will be prosecuted as accomplices. Social media users who upload or circulate graphic images or videos of these crimes will face criminal charges. Village leaders or spiritual figures who incite violence under the guise of glassman or witch hunting will be specifically targeted under new provisions, and community fines and collective sanctions will be considered where entire villages permit or endorse such acts. The Prime Minister reiterated that this will be a law for the protection of women and elders and for the soul of our country. The Prime Minister further called on all men across the country to become protectors and not perpetrators. Freddie Moe, TVWAN News.
Meantime, Prime Minister James Marape acknowledged that PNG has been embarrassed internationally by recurring incidents of SARV, most of which are recorded and circulated online. He said it is time to put an end to this national shame and call on all citizens to be vigilant and report any suspected cases of SARV immediately. He stressed that this government will not rest until the killers are prosecuted, the laws are strengthened, and women can live without fear in their own communities. 40 combatants were arrested over the weekend in Hela province following a joint operation by the Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary and Papua New Guinea Defence Force. The operation also resulted in the seizure of the illegal weapons. The arrests were part of an effort to prevent tribal fighting.
Acting on information provided by local sources and community leaders, the RPNGC and PNGDF launched an operation to intercept a significant tribal fight in Hela province on Saturday, July 5th. Security forces moved in and detained 40 combatants with other fighters fleeing into the bushes. Those arrested, including several senior members of the involved clans. Police Commissioner David Manning said several firearms were also seized, including factory and homemade weapons. These weapons and ammunition are now in the custody for police exhibition. Manning commended the police and defense personnel for their proactive actions leading to the arrest of these individuals. He said RPNGC will continue to work closely with the PNGDF as they continue to face major challenges in these remote areas, especially in the Highlands region. The commissioner added that the security forces will continue to work with the communities and elected leaders to combat tribal fighting in the Highlands region and bring to justice those who think violence is an acceptable solution. Further information on this matter will be made available at an appropriate time. Tracy Pa, TV1 News.
This is TV1 News. Among stories after the break, national accomplishment and Marape attends SDA Global Outreach.
Hiya, Mama. You wait then, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Magic kakaru, get up a big smile on face. Time for Kim chicken, a great kumutu. Sip, sip, the mumu, yes, magic on you.
Maggi, the taste PNG loves.
The Toyota JD Hi-Ace bus comes in 14 and 15-seater high-roof luxury model powered by 2.8 liters JD engine for optimal performance output, fuel efficiency and quietness, designed with improved safety features and easy maneuverability for tire steering angle. The Hi-Ace lift suspension and annular frame structure is opted for smooth ride, comfort and safety. Experience the ride on the Hi-Ace bus and experience the Hi-Ace pride, the bus that exceeds all expectations.
Tell him shorty come get it in. Come grind on me, but met it in. Mommy get loose, get loose, get loose. Pepsi in my hand, ice cold, no excuse. I tell him who's gonna bring that groove down. Pepsi with that fresh sound. Tell him who's gonna bring that groove down. Pepsi with that fresh sound. Pepsi, give me some Pepsi bottle. Pepsi, you like it? Pepsi, you like it? Pepsi bottle.
For Simon, life is simple. Dreams seem distant, yet hope remains. One ticket, one dream. Simon's world changed forever. Yes! From small dreams to big possibilities. The One-Top Jackpot is here for everyone. Win big every day.
Full time, New South Wales 1-0. Up and across. The hammer's out there. The hammer with the catch. Did the hammer get it down? The hammer's got two. Queensland. Nathan Cleary. Then the ball. Then the Mitchell. He's caught again. He's got three. The Blues are back in it.
Welcome back. East New Britain Province has acknowledged the deferral of local level government elections by the PNG Electoral Commission. Provincial Administrator and Chairman of Provincial Election Advisory Committee, Levi Mano, outlined that the province has received a circular from the PNG Electoral Commission Simon Sinai via the Provincial Electoral Commission office in Kokopo. The change will see polling moved back by 2 months from July 12th to September 27th. This will also affect the date for the return of rates, which has been deferred from the 22nd of August to the 17th of November 2025. Having university graduates that are automatically recognized on the global stage is an accomplishment for a nation that is preparing to celebrate its 50th independence anniversary. Member for Lae and Deputy Prime Minister John Rosso emphasized this when applauding the PNG University of Technology in Lae for achieving international accreditation for all 5 of its engineering courses.
The PNG University of Technology in Lae, Morobe Province, raised the bar in the education sector when its engineering programs were accredited by Engineers Australia under the Washington Accord effective 18th of December 2024. When celebrating this significant milestone on Monday, June the 30th, Member for Lae and Deputy Prime Minister John Rosso emphasized that this is an accomplishment not just for the nation, but within the Pacific region as well.
Congratulations to you all for this milestone achievement. Why are we here? On 18 December 2024, the PNG University of Technology achieved full international accreditation under the prestigious Washington Accord for 5 of its Bachelor of Engineering honor programs: Civil Engineering, Electrical Engineering, Mechanical Engineering, Mineral Processing Engineering, Mining Engineering. What an achievement. These are some of the world's most important engineering courses, and they're offered right here at this University of Technology with honors and master's programs. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first time in Papua New Guinea's history that any engineering program has been internationally accredited under the Washington Accord, a global benchmark for professional engineering education. Let me say it clearly and loudly and proudly. This is a national achievement. We are very proud of this university. You should all tap yourselves on the back and say thank you. It affirms that Papua New Guinea has a capability to meet and exceed international academic standards. It sends a clear message to the world that PNG produces world-class engineers and can work anywhere in the world with those qualifications. It is a massive, massive performance. Great achievement. To our engineering students and graduates here today, this moment belongs to you also. Your degrees now speak on the world stage. You no longer need to explain or defend the quality of your education. It is automatically recognized by all member countries of the Washington Accord.
The full accreditation granted is for a term of 5 years, with PNG UOT aiming to get its other courses accredited as well. Jasmine Rojak, TVWAN News.
A gospel album is planned to be released in September this year. The aim of the album is to bring hope back to the Motu Koita people. The album is planned for September so it won't interfere with Motu Koita election period.
over 100 gospel songs have been composed by the gospel singer and composer Rugby Frank from Pare village in the nation's capital. Rugby, who composes his songs in the Motuan language, shared that the reason why he composes his songs in Motu is for better understanding and to spread God's word in the local villages.
I was now thinking to compose songs into Motu language because that's the only way to get my people knowing God. Desire of writing my own songs grew better out when I was having a quiet time with the Lord. Yeah, everything started from there because God was the only one who was inspiring me to do all these things. He was giving me that desire in my heart to write songs in Motu.
Rugby Frank is now planning to release his new album called Motu Koita. The aim of the album is to bring hope back to the Motu Koita people.
Koita album, I've got my purposes and purposes of that album, and also the aims and goals of those album. Yeah, like we got to have goals and aims why we are trying to bring the thing about. It's not just only doing it for other people like listening. No, that's nice music or that's nicely played instrument. No, it's not all about that. It's all about touching Motu Koita people's life. I'm now seeing this in when I was when I was growing up in the Motu Koita Motu Koita villages. Like we have been slaves in our own place, own villages. Like we're supposed to be rising up and telling other people that this is our land. This is our land, Motu Koita. Nobody owns it.
He shared that the songs on the album will be in the Motuan and Koita dialects and is planned for September, so it won't interfere with the 2025 Motu Koita election period. He hopes that through this album, more people will go back to God and gain strength from God through the many issues Motu Koita have faced over the years. Jasmine Rojak, TVWAN News.
Prime Minister James Marape has expressed his gratitude to the global Seventh-day Adventist Church community during the opening session of the 62nd General Conference session in St. Louis, Missouri, where he is attending as an official guest. In his remarks to more than 6,000 delegates and visitors from across the globe, the Prime Minister highlighted Papua New Guinea's rich cultural diversity and unwavering faith, describing the PNG as a nation where 100% of the population knows that Seventh-day Adventist Church exists.
Prime Minister James Marape has spoken passionately about the National Outreach Program, PNG for Christ 2024, a major collaborative initiative between the Papua New Guinea Union Mission and the Global SDA Church aimed at spreading the Christian message of hope and salvation across all regions of the country. Speaking at the opening session of the 62nd General Conference session in St. Louis, Missouri, Marape said it has been a blessing to witness such an impactful Christian movement in our nation. He said with over 836 languages spoken by 11 million people are united through faith. He added that PNG for Christ 2024 was a monumental success with over 500,000 people participating directly and more than 1 million expressing interest in the program.
I want to say thank you very much for your leadership over the church. May God continue to bless you and your family in your continued ministry for the Lord. To every United States of America citizens, happy 249th this day. Guess what? Since Acts chapter 1 verse 8 was uttered by Jesus before he went back to heaven, we're almost 2,000 years since Jesus spoke, "Go to Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, and to the ends of the earth." Papua New Guinea qualifies as the ends of the earth. We are here presenting the gospel to all people. I want to invite my brothers for us to sing a song. Thank you, Elder Wilson and Sister Nancy, for your service to the Lord. May God bless two of you.
Prime Minister Marape's participation at the St. Louis gathering underscores his government's commitment to religious freedom, Christian values, and the integral role of faith-based organizations in national development. The 62nd General Conference session, held every 5 years, brings together delegates from more than 200 countries and territories. Prime Minister Marape is the only sitting head of government officially invited to this year's event, further highlighting Papua New Guinea's spiritual significance in the global SDA movement. Freddie Mo, TVWAN News.
And now the finance news. The Kina closed lower at $0.2423 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our Kina was buying $0.2348 $0.3557 Australian dollars, $0.1912 euro, and 33.56 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold, palm oil, crude oil, and copper closed lower, and coffee, cocoa, and copra closed the day unchanged. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed unchanged, the ASX closed lower, and all ordinaries closed lower as well. TV1 News continues when we return. Stay with us.
Really messing with your game. Time to sweep him out of the room. Or maybe not.
Ding bang ding, ding ding bang, bam bam bang, ding bang ding, bam bam.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo in milk taste and added nutrients, Milo in milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG e Mia. Buying PNG made.
New Fabuloso multi-purpose cleaner with an irresistible fragrance that lasts all day long, creating a field of flowers in every corner of your home with an irresistible fragrance that lasts and lasts all day long. Fabuloso, irresistible fragrance.
I just want to be successful.
But who'll hire a college dropout like me?
If you need anything, just call me.
You think I'm doing this just for me? I'm not! I am the head of this family. If you do not like it, the door is wide open.
Why don't you just die?
I'm arresting you for the murder of Xander Sagrado III. Sir, I didn't do it!
You accuse Frank because he's poor! He didn't commit the crime! I will not let Frank rot in jail. We will fight.
That family ruined our life, and you still want to work for them?
Thanks for staying with us. Turning abroad, U.S. President Donald Trump says the United States is close to finalizing several trade agreements in the coming days and will notify other countries of higher tariff rates by July 9th. The higher rates are scheduled to take effect on August 1st. Mr. Trump and other top officials had flagged the August 1st date earlier, but it was unclear if all tariffs would increase then. As to clarify, Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick told reporters the higher tariffs would take effect on August 1st, but Mr. Trump was setting the rates and the deals right now. Mr. Trump in April announced a 10% base tariff rate on most countries and additional duty ranging up to 50%, although the rate delayed the effect date for all but 10% until July 9th. The new date offers countries a 3-week reprieve. Cole White is a unique artist who loves bowling with his best mates and building Lego. The 25-year-old has Down syndrome and is often nonverbal, but art has enabled him to express his passions and share his creativity with the world. Cole is now showcasing his artwork at his very first exhibition.
Finishing touches to his last few pieces. Cole White has spent the last year and a half creating a collection of art for his first exhibition.
I'm just so proud of Cole and how far he's come with his artwork.
Cole lives with Down syndrome and is often non-verbal, but through art he's expressing his passions and those of his loved ones too.
Cole's mum loves cats and Cole loves cats too. So we did some artwork with cats inspired by your mum, wasn't it?
It's a far cry from his previous humble art beginnings.
I think he was just sort of left to his devices, just colouring in or whatever. But with Holly, he's been guided to pick what art he wants, what colours.
For the founders of Varnacare, Cole's art journey is a lesson in careful curation, matching support workers and clients.
It's not like a one-size-fits-all shoe, which a lot of people I think it is. And we knew that from the beginning, and that's why we started.
And Cole's hard work has come to fruition, with more than half of his artwork sold at his debut event.
As parents, you only want your children to be happy and doing what they love, and very proud indeed.
The proceeds funding Cole's future artistic endeavours.
Put some money in the bank for the next lot, hey? Buy some more canvases and some more paint and more supplies.
This is a perfect opportunity to purchase a piece of art that's not only meaningful but also supports an emerging artist.
Paving the way for his next exhibition.
The 14th Dalai Lama celebrated his 90th birthday and marked the occasion with a long-awaited announcement about the future of the Tibetan Buddhist spiritual tradition. On Wednesday, His Holiness announced via video message that the institution of the Dalai Lama would continue after his death. It put to rest speculations over whether he might be the last of this lineage. Tibetans, the Buddhists gathered around the world to mark the milestone and express their admiration for the long-term advocate for the Tibetan people. The Dalai Lama was appointed to Tibet's highest spiritual role at the age of 2 and has spent nearly a century navigating the fraught political terrain between Tibet and China, despite living in exile for 66 years. He is the first Dalai Lama to achieve global influence and has been instrumental in bringing contemporary Buddhism into the mainstream. The Taupan's longest-running Creek convention has taken over Palmerston this weekend, inspiring creative costumes and medieval adventures. With the school holidays underway, thousands of Territorians took part in the activities, bringing their online alter egos into reality.
And Darth Vader casually wielding a lightsaber. It can only mean one thing: Geekfest is back.
This is a very inclusive and welcoming community to everyone.
The cosplay community as well as all the geek community in Darwin, we're just a big happy family.
Territorians flocked to Palmerston this weekend to kickstart the city's week-long youth festival, taking their passion for video games and comic books out of the home and into the real world.
You don't have to be in the major big cities to create comic books. That a great comic book artist can come from anywhere, even here in Palmerston, like I did.
Providing a comfortable space to explore new characters and celebrate unique interests.
When I was younger, I was the weird, quirky one, never really got along with normal people, where cosplay, it was a community that it didn't shun you for who you are or what you look like. It was just all about sharing the fun of geekdom.
If there's one thing to remember about Geekfest, it's that there's something for everyone, and it's easy to get carried away. The City of Palmerston offering the chance to embrace your true self.
We run a series of competitions throughout the whole festival with over $15,000 prize money.
The festival continues all week, ending with a talent quest on Friday.
The ACT has the most progressive pet ownership laws in the country, and the government wants to update dog welfare standards to introduce compulsory human contact hours. But questions remain about how much laws would be enforced.
It's puppy playtime at the dog park, a place to burn energy and get social. But what's now a choice for dog owners may soon become a legal requirement. The ACT government wants to mandate owners spend a minimum of 3 hours with their dog every day. It's a move the RSPCA supports.
I think a lot of pet owners spend far more than 3 hours with their pets. Dogs are so social, and just having that moment of being in that same room with you is definitely meeting some of those basic behavioural needs.
Some owners feel the proposed update to the ACT's dog welfare code is unnecessary.
It seems a silly rule, only because if you are a dog owner, you'll spend more than 3 hours a day with your dog.
We spend 1 hour at the dog area, and then, pretty much all evening.
It's not just human contact hours the government wants to have a say in. Tying dogs up would be more heavily restricted, as would surgical debarking. And retractable leads could also be prohibited under the draft standards.
They don't allow you to have a full effective control of your dog. They're hard to get your dog back in.
I don't use a retractable lead, but I think it should be up to the individual.
Breaching the welfare code standards is a punishable offence, but questions remain about how some of them would be enforced.
I don't know what kind of policing is going to be employed to carry out that, to ensure everybody does that. It sounds very interventionist.
How are you going to monitor me being with my dog 3 hours a day?
They're questions that authorities in the only jurisdiction to recognise dogs as sentient beings will need to decide.
They do feel emotions, they do have feelings, they do process things very similar to us.
The new code is open for feedback from the public until mid-August.
You're watching TVWAN News. Next in sports, slow pitch softball hits finals and PSL concludes round 4.
From the rich soils of the highlands, the finest coffee has been grown by generations of Papua New Guineans. Expertly blended and roasted with over 80 years of experience, making the finest cup of Nescafe New Guinea blend. PNG's own coffee.
Johnston with some room to move. Alex Johnston, he kicks it again. This should be a try. Alex Johnston's in.
It's an unstoppable rush. Taking that extra mile, pushing beyond the limit and making it happen. Fueling the passion for rugby and empowering the next generation. Feel the power.
PNG's favorite soft drink now in bottles. GoldSport brings you fresh, bold flavors in brand new 500ml bottles. Taste the rainbow. More freshness, more flavor, more fun. Lime, orange, raspberry, and pineapple. Proudly made in PNG. Proudly GoldSport.
The PNG LNG project has now generated more than 30 billion kina for Papua New Guinea since production commenced. Nearly half of this amount has been paid as tax. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levies and royalties are paid to DPE. For more information on direct and indirect benefits, visit PNG EITI's website.
You sabi to awesome condom and one way where you can abrusim seek HIV, STI na unplanned pregnancy? Tingim, use him condom long right way. Stop safe na look out him you yet. Use him condom all get a time. Suppose you no save long HIV status long partner blog you or suppose you got plenty partner. Use him condom good all get a time. Long haborusim seek HIV, STI na unplanned pregnancies. Use him condom banisim you yet na future blog you. This platok save ikam long National AIDS Council Secretariat.
Trace Urban is Trace's flagship TV, exclusively dedicated to the best urban music and artists. Trace Urban offers a unique mix of the most popular American, European, African, and Caribbean urban music genres. Trace Urban benefits from the power and musical expertise of Trace, which has endlessly promoted African music stars since 2003 on all its channels. Welcome to Trace Urban. We are urban music.
Who finds James Lowe on the inside. Lowe so strong in attack. Oh, what a start! Russell right on the money. Holds it up for Toole, who accelerates to get to the way. For Sapsford, it is 50th with the Brumbies.
Welcome back. The Port Moresby Slow Pitch Corporate Softball Competition has successfully concluded its final round of pool games at the Bissini Softball Diamonds, gearing up for the playoffs this coming weekend. With 41 teams participating this year, the competition was organized into 5 pools consisting of 8 to 9 teams each.
President of Port Moresby Women's Softball Association, Sophie Malaibe, noted that some pools had to play double headers to ensure the completion of all games ahead of the elimination finals, which are scheduled to take place over the next 3 weeks. The semi-finals and grand final are set for the 26th of July.
Some pools that have 9 teams, some pools that have 8 teams. So the ones that have 9 teams, they're doing the double headers today to complete their round. After this, we go straight into playoffs for the next 3 weekends. So that's playoffs, semis, and grand final on the 3rd week in July.
Malaibe expressed delight at the enthusiasm and interest shown in this year's competition, highlighting the influx of new teams such as SP Brewery and Daytech, which have strengthened the overall competition while fostering new friendships and networking opportunities among staff from various corporate organizations.
So far we have so many strong teams that have come on board. We have new teams like SP Brewery, Daytech, Pomjan. They have shown interest and have joined this corporate slow pitch for this year. We started with 43 teams and we lost about 2 teams, so now we're down to just 41 teams that have participated out of about 39 companies. So, yeah.
She noted that each year, the slow pitch competition becomes increasingly competitive, and this year's edition of new teams will further enhance the challenge. The finals will feature 4 categories: cup, plate, bowl, and shield, promising an exciting conclusion to the tournament.
So the grand final will be on the 26th of July. This is the last weekend of the round. We only have one round. So after that, we're going to elimination finals next week, then semi-finals, and then the grand final on the 26th of July for 4 categories: cup, plate, bowl, and shield.
All right. The slow pitch corporate softball concept is an initiative of the Port Moresby Women's Softball Association and used as a major fundraiser to support the running of its regular Women's Association competition each year. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
The Premier Soccer League concluded another entertaining round of football over the weekend, both in Port Moresby and in Lae. Port Moresby hosted triple header at the PNG Football Stadium with Hela FC, and United Highlands FC had an icebreaker on Saturday. They went toe-to-toe the entire match, and United Highlands FC came out winners in the end 1-0 in a tight contest. Gulf Comara FC edged out Blue Cumuls United FC 2-1 in the next match. Both teams held their grounds wanting more, but the experience in the Gulf Comara team proved the difference in the end. The final match of the day showed 2 champions football clubs, Ekari United FC and FC Morobe Wawans, entertained the football fans with top football accents. Ekari United won the match 1-0. FC Morobe Wawans coach Bob Morris was happy with his boys, although they didn't get the win. Morris said his team will learn from this experience and prepare to do well in the next game.
I think, yes, I guess, the boys were there in the game. They did the best. It could go either way. Just that in the second half that goal went, and then the morale dropped a bit. But I thought the young boys, they did the best. We were hoping for a win, but, Ekari is a team. At least we had a good game with them. I'm happy with the performance. Just that, unfortunately, we lost. Yeah.
The Ekari United head coach Jerry Allen gave credit to the opposite team, FC Morobe Wawans, for giving his side a good challenge. Allen said Red Army was lucky to get the win.
They played really well today. It was a hard game today. But then we had our chance, and then we scored. But to be honest, it's an equal contest. But we had a chance, we scored.
The other matches in Lae also showcased great football actions. Lae City Dwellers FC dismantled Star Mountain FC 9-2 in a total demolition. Port Moresby Strikers FC met Lae City FC to round up the round 4 matches. Admiralty Island FC was on bye. Pius Whistle won the much-anticipated men's 100-meter final at the Pacific Mini Games when he edged teammate Timothy Tuna by just 2 1/100ths of a second in Kodor last Saturday evening.
A very heavy downpour in Koror just before the 100-meter semi-finals of the Pacific Mini Games made conditions very uncomfortable for sprinters and dashed any hopes of fast times. But no one was interested in times, just who would claim the title of the Pacific Sprint King. Pius Whistle won the 100-meter final when he edged teammate Timothy Tuna by just 2 of the 100-meter, a second late Saturday evening. Whistle clocked 10.51 seconds to Tuna 10.53, with Fiji's Waiseka Tewa in third with 10.60. This for PNG in the final event of the evening capped off a hugely successful day for Team PNG, who hauled in 13 medals, 4 gold, 6 silver and 3 bronze. Scholastica Herman dominated in the women's 800-meter field of 11 athletes to win gold in 2 minutes 16 seconds. It was followed by an exciting men's 800-meter race, which pre-race favorite Adolf Kauba set the pace with Solomon Islander Stephen Rahusi tracking him from the start with PNG's Judith Robinson close behind. Rahusi made his move coming into the home straight, but so did Robinson, with surge into the lead with 70 meters to go and clinched the goal with a powerful finish in a massive personal best of 1 minute 52.56 seconds. Moria Mararo's clinched goal in the wheelchair 100-meter with teammate Jerome Bunge second. Other silver medals were won by Caro Iga in the Acathlon, Raylene Kanam in the Apthalon, Regina Edward in Para-Javelin, and Osila Apku in the 100-meter race. Another action-packed day is expected today with the finals of the 400-meter, 100 and 110-meter hurdles, the 5,000 and the 4x100-meter relay finals. Another 1-2 is possible for PNG in the men's 400 meters, while the experienced Daniel Baul will face a strong challenge from Adolf Kauma. The men's 200 meters also gets underway with the qualifying heats early in the program on Monday. This is Timothy Tuna's strongest event, and he will be aiming for a dominant performance in line with the sensational form he showed in the USA in May. Honiara bronze medalist Robert Oa carries PNG's hopes in the men's 110 hurdles. Terry Long with TV1 Sports.
State of Origin decider is on this Wednesday, and rugby league fans in Australia and the rest of the Pacific region looking forward to it. As the preparation in both Blues and Maroons camps continue, a tragic news hit the Maroons camp. Stephen Munster, father of Maroons captain Cameron Munster, passed on over the weekend. The devastating news came just days before Munster would lead his state to the State of Origin series decider for the first time in his career and as a captain. The Queensland Maroons coach Billy Slater said the Maroons camp granted Munster permission to visit his family and send their condolences to Munster family. The Maroons camp is expecting Munster to join them before the game on Wednesday. The New South Wales Blues camp also sent condolences to Munster family for their loss. The Blues won the opening game in Brisbane before Maroons equalised the series in Perth. The decider is set this Wednesday in Sydney. TV1 will be broadcasting the game live. Be sure to tune in on Wednesday. Forgotten PNG Hunters hooker Wesa Tenza has found his way back into the Hunters camp, this time not as a player but as a helper. PNG Hunters coach Paul Iton speaks highly of Wesa's involvement in the team. In the last Rugby League World Cup in 2021, PNG Kumuls for the first time in many years picked a decent team. The Kumuls, under the guidance of former coach Stanley Tepent, made the semi-finals at the tournament but fell short to Tonga. This team was full of talent, including former Castleford Tigers player Sylvester Namo, Roderick Tai and Liam Horn. But the selection of Wesa Tenza left many fans scratching their heads. However, the resilient hooker tucked in his emotions and put in the work. He made sure not to let no one down on the world stage. After the World Cup, he had a few games with Hunters and the Mandy Muruks before calling it quits. The former Hunters has been keeping a low profile post-rugby league. In a surprising yet empowering turn, the former PNG Kumuls was spotted assisting Paul Iton last week on the training field, moving training equipment, shoulder bags and kicking tees at the Hunters training.
He's coming to help us out. Yeah, he's. I had something to do. I had a little to do with him. I was assistant coach when he was a player. Also, when he made the Kumuls, he's a Hunter representative. Represented the country as well in the World Cup. He's an extremely good person. He's good to have around the team. And I asked if he could come and help us out, and he said yes. So yeah, it was the players received him really well.
The Hunters coach didn't explain the arrangement of Tenza's involvement with Hunters, but did indicate that Wesa was helping him out with the playing group. Wesa Tenza made the PNG Hunters team in 2022 under the then coach Stanley Tepent. He went on to make the PNG Prime Minister's 13 team and later the Kumuls. He only featured in one match in the Kumuls colours when they played against Wales. Captain Harry Wilson scored in the dying seconds as the Wallabies beat Fiji 21-18 in a thrilling encounter in Newcastle on Sunday afternoon. In their only hit out before the British and Irish Lions series, the Wallabies led 40-0 early thanks to tries from Dave Porecki and Fraser McRae. Former skipper Porecki played in his best Wallabies match since 2023, had time to score despite only lasted a quarter of the match before being forced off with a head knock. The Wallabies faced the Lions in the first test on July 19th in Brisbane. In NRL, the Tigers have broken a 6-game losing streak, pulling off a massive upset to defeat the Roosters 30 points to 28 in an entertaining game at Alliance Stadium. The Roosters were without 5 Origin stars and centre Billy Smith, so a lot of youth was on display for the Tricolours. But the Tigers were also missing 3 key players in Jerome Bula, Jerome Luai and Api Korisau.
In front of the post if they want it. Why wait till the last? Fainu want an edge. Tigers right now.
The Tigers led 30-22 with 2 minutes left after a Tigers penalty goal, but the Roosters stayed in it with a James Tedesco try in the final minute. Unfortunately for the home side, they only had one play to attempt and score a miraculous try from a kick-off, but the Tigers shut it down. It was a historic afternoon with the Fainu brothers, Samuela, Latu and Sione, becoming the first trio of brothers in the NRL history to all score tries for the same team in the same game. Latu spoke to Fox League after the game, telling Matt Russell the win was for coach Benji Muzzle after a few turbulent weeks amid the losing streak. A brilliant offload from Stafford Toa, despite 3 defenders being draped over him, set up the Tigers' first try to Charlie Staines. Promising young half Laitu Fainu would score the team's second, pouncing on a Roosters error before racing 50 metres the other way to put the ball down under the post. His brother Sione would crash over minutes later to give the Tigers a 20-0 lead. The Roosters would turn things around, though, with 2 tries in 5 minutes, which included a sensational acrobatic effort from veteran Daniel Tupou. Tupou leaped over his opposing winger to catch it over his head before bringing it down to ground to score. Perfect kick from Hugo Savala was well. Samuela Fainu scored soon after the halftime break, running a terrific line to crash over to complete the Fainu hat-trick. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
That's it for sports. Now the weather forecast. In regional focus, Southern, Port Moresby, Kerema and Popondetta, partly cloudy with few showers and possible thunderstorm. Momase, lake cloudy periods with few rain showers and possible thunderstorm. Wiwe, partly cloudy with few showers and possible thunderstorms. Bikini Islands, Kokopo Rabaul, cloudy periods with heavy showers, rain and possible thunderstorm. And Buka, cloudy periods with occasional rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Islands, Manditari and Wabag, cloudy periods with some showers, rain and possible thunderstorm. Ocean forecast for PNG areas for the next 24 hours. Coral seas, seas moderate to rough with easterly to southeast winds of 20 to 33 knots. Solomon Sea, seas light to moderate with southeast to easterly winds of 5 to 50 knots. Bismarck Seas, seas light with southeast to easterly winds of 5 to 50 knots. Pacific Ocean, seas smooth to slight with northeast to southeast winds of 5 to 15 knots. And coastal waters forecast. Waters of southern PNG Indonesian border to Daru to Samare Island. Seas 1.5 to 2 meters, rising to 3 meters along warning areas. And waters of New Ireland to New Britain to Bougainville. Seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters, rising to 2.5 meters along warning areas. That ends the news tonight. Have a pleasant evening. Good night.
The TVWAN News was proudly brought to you by